ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Gray, and it's springtime, and I'm glad.
I'm glad too, John. I didn't even think of saying that. It's so beautiful outside. Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
And you still got the dog in the bag. Let that dog out.
Bop's over there in the
I keep wanting
bag.
to let the dog out.
It's taken me forever to get her trained to stay in that bag while I do this.
I just can't hardly stand it. I want her out. Anyway, yes, spring is wonderful.
A couple of years after we first got the dog, I left her home by herself.
Yeah.
But I finally got to where I couldn't stay.
You'd look at that little face, and you had to put her in and bring her with you.
Yeah, and then I got this camera like you use for babies.
Yeah.
You know, where you watch them while they're in their crib and such. And that just made it worse because she was sitting over there crying the whole time I was gone. You know,
that's all you got on the camera.
Yeah. So I thought,
I love it.
okay, we're
it.
among friends here. I'll just bring her with me.
Yeah.
I saw something on the Today Show this morning where there was this woman left her dog at home. And so she puts on the TV, big flat screen TV, the Nature Channel. Well, all went well until a squirrel came on. And the dog went up and jumped on the TV, knocked this probably $500-600 TV in the floor, broke it all to pieces, and ran off into the other room.
So animals do watch
TV. That dog wanted that squirrel.
That's so cute.
Got it.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Yeah.
We had a cat one time that used to like NASCAR racing. I mean, she would sit there and watch
the cars. That is hysterical.
You know, she was fascinated by the cars going around. I don't know what it was, but
it is interesting what animals will do. I worry about. There's a horse that lives near us and me, and the horse is there alone. And every time I pass the horse, I think how sad that is. That there's not even a cat out there with the horse.
Yeah.
Everybody needs somebody.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And anyway, so I got to see. Have you seen Beauty and the Beast?
Nope.
Good job. It was.
You've still got another opportunity, though, I think.
Yeah, I went this weekend. It was a wonderful performance. South Jackson Civic Center coming up again next weekend.
Yep.
And if you'll stay tuned, we've got someone from Chicago on the set today. That's over in Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's from Tullahoma.
Well, that's all right.
But she's in the play Chicago.
Over in Manchester, yeah. Anyway, there's no reason for anybody to not be entertained this weekend.
It's happening.
Lots of things
It's happening everywhere. National championship basketball game, college last night.
It was Virginia.
Virginia beat Texas Tech.
Was that
You know, I haven't watched a lot of basketball in recent years until this year, and the game has changed somewhat.
Oh yeah.
From
it is
when we
not
were
the
there,
same.
when we were doing that.
Fast.
Yeah, and they are really technical about how calling fouls these days. I mean, there's
they got instant replay on.
You don't get by with anything.
But they let them walk all over the floor.
Yeah.
They double dribble. Like, you know, when we played, if you did that, that was called palming the ball.
Yeah.
And they gave it to the other
now it's
team.
okay.
Oh, now you can take 3 or 4 steps.
Yeah.
They had one. He dropped it. He dribbled. He dropped it. He picked it up. Started dribbling again, which is supposed to be double dribbling. Didn't call that.
Yeah.
That's
But yet they'll. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know.
And you know, the rule, I think it was, Tennessee got victimized by that when they lost. But when Virginia and Auburn were playing, the rule that if you jump, you're the offensive player and you jump up, you control the area in the floor below you, and you're allowed that space.
You're allowed that space.
And if you violate that space as a defensive player, it's a foul.
That's interesting.
That's I thought was a little.
Well, I think what it is these guys are going up, and if you got a good player and you come under him and cut his legs out from underneath, it's because of injury.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can injure somebody pretty bad doing that. That's like a double team block in football where one goes high and the other goes low. Cut block.
Yeah.
That's like a cut block on a basketball floor. Is what it is, basically.
Well, I can see why then maybe that.
And it's not so much about the foul. It's about the fact that the possibility of injury for doing that.
But what you just said, you know, you talk about the traveling and double dribble. I mean, you know, I think in the Tennessee game, you know, they called Tennessee for a foul, which was I'm not sure that was a foul in the Tennessee game, but it probably was. I don't know. They saw it better than I did. However, prior to that, somebody travel?
Oh, yeah.
You know, they were
Yeah,
Y'all are so alert.
excuse me, but what the commentators say, oh, well, you know, they had enough time before that to win or after that to win.
Yeah.
But the thing about this year on these ball games is, other than Auburn, who absolutely beat everybody they played until the Final Four by 15 to 20 points, most of those games were 1- and 2-point games or overtime games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were that all the games were
Have been
that
really close.
Yeah.
Virginia, who won it, had 3 overtime games.
Yeah, exactly. Tennessee had 2, I think.
Yeah. So,
There must be some fine players.
oh, there's some great athletes
And they're so
out there.
tall, they just,
And there's great coaching.
obviously.
Obviously, there's great coaching, and I think Tennessee's coach, they're talking about he has an opportunity maybe to go to UCLA.
He does, and
You think he'll go?
and I would imagine it was for big bucks. However, Phil Fulmer, the athletic director, announced last night that he would be staying.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Well,
Maybe he likes where he lives.
He's from North Carolina, I think.
Yeah, he probably likes where he lives.
His family's pretty close by, and you know, and he's not really young at this point. So I mean, you know.
Thing about it is, though, in Tennessee, if there's ever going to be a decision made about funding between football and basketball, football's going to get the money.
Right.
At UCLA,
Why do you think that is?
It's a football school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Basketball's never been that big a deal, you know.
How about
We've
the
had a
girls?
few good the girls, that's a
they-
whole different thing. But
Okay.
they've gone down since Pat passed away. That program is sort of.
But you know,
gone down a little
Tennessee's
bit.
arena there seats about 25,000,
Mm-hmm.
and so they've been filling it recently.
yeah.
And if they fill that arena,
I would
they're
say.
generating a lot of money
Yeah.
too.
But UCLA is a basketball and a football
yeah.
school, because John Wooden won 14 national championships
I
out
think
there.
so. Yeah.
You know, so the money's there for the basketball program. I'm glad he's staying. He's a great coach.
I am too, and I'm impressed with. And I don't have any inside information of this at all, but I'm impressed with athletic director Phil Fulmer.
Yeah.
Because I think there might have been a time at UC in the not too distant past where they'd have had some big board meeting about that and discussed it for several days.
No.
And by the time that was over, he would have been gone.
Yeah, Phil's
you
man.
know, but Phil Fulmer understands the sports.
Right,
He understands.
right.
He really
All
does.
three of them,
No doubt
yeah.
about
So-
that.
Heavens, yes.
So, anyway, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to them
So
on
what's
the
your
success they're
favorite,
having.
football or basketball?
I'm a football
Oh,
guy.
me too. Yeah.
Okay.
I loved basketball until everybody grew up and I didn't. You know, when I was in junior high, I was a tall guy.
Yeah.
Then I'm the same height
Then
that I
I'll-
am right now. So that between junior high and high school, they all grew 1.5 feet, and I didn't grow any at all. So
and you started looking up.
yeah,
You know, there was a
looking
kid
at
when
the
I
trees.
was in third grade, and when I was in the second grade. And when I was in the second grade, I went to Singleton School, which is between here and Shelbyville. There were about 25 kids in the school, in the whole school, and in grades 1 through 8. And there was a young man who was in the second grade with me, and he was always bullying people and, you know, stuff
Yeah.
like that. And a nice guy, I guess, but he just, anyway, my grandmother, who I lived with, told me that, you know, you just can't put up with that.
Well, good for her.
You got to smack him, take up for yourself.
That's what I
you
was
know.
told.
You know, that's what you were told. in
That's
those
what you were
days.
told back in the day.
Well, anyway, we were doing this play. The school was putting on this play, and the parents, or grandparents, everybody was out in the audience, and me and this kid were backstage, and he tried to push me off the stage, and I
Whoops.
busted him in the mouth.
Good for you.
And so when we go out for our part, he's bleeding from his nose and everything. And they're trying to figure out what I
I just did what my mama said,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the next year I moved to Tullahoma, and 10 years later, I saw this fella again, because he had moved to Tullahoma, and we were in high school. And by this point, I'm 5'6", and he's about 6'3".
Oh, wow.
Did he remember you?
He remembered me, but was very nice about it, and we never, we never had a problem. But I thought, this guy will kill me.
He admired your tenacity. That's great.
So, we were the same size.
But we were all told that. Were you told that growing up? Don't come home whining to me about somebody bullying you.
My daddy told
Knock
me.
them down. That's what he said.
My daddy told me, if somebody pees in your boot, it's their fault. If they do it twice, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Well, that'll take care of it too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's real simple.
I never heard that one.
Well, that's what he
Actually, I
said.
don't think I ever heard that one either.
You know, one time they do
One
that
time,
to
that's
you,
enough.
it's, but twice, no. Deal with
So
it.
turn the other cheek doesn't always work. Is that
Well,
what
I
we're
mean,
saying?
you're liable to get beat to death if you can do that.
Well, I think in my childhood, and when I lived in the country, nobody taught you that. It was you retaliated.
You just
Yeah,
retaliate
yeah.
or you're in trouble.
Yeah.
It was
right.
eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
But, there's some truth in that.
Well, yeah, and,
There's some
and my
truth in
grandmother
that.
was.
Yeah, it's a you have
There's
to
a fine
balance it.
line
Yeah.
there.
My grandmother was about 5 foot tall, but she lived in the country all her life and had been alone a lot, and she wasn't scared of anything. And I remember when she was the cook at the school,
Yeah.
and this 8th grader one time hit the teacher.
Oh, wow.
And he was a big old boy, and for the 8th grade, and he hit the teacher, and was going to hit her again. And my grandmother comes out with a stick of stove wood. We had
Oh,
wood
wow.
stove, and she laid him out.
Oh, my gosh.
And
And she would be in the penitentiary today if she was
today,
now.
yeah. Anyways, it put an end to that. But somebody went and got the kid's daddy, and it's happened then. He was not happy with his kid.
Oh, good.
At all.
Yeah.
For hitting the
All right.
one, so.
Don't listen to us because we're not up to date on
my
what you're
granny
supposed
down
to
in
do.
South Louisiana
Yeah,
was
this
that
was
way
a different
too.
era. Yeah,
You know, they'd shoot people down there.
yeah.
She was about the same size, not mean, but dealt with stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you live on a farm out in the middle
You
of
have to
nowhere,
deal
you
with
deal
stuff.
with
You have to
stuff.
deal with
Yeah.
stuff.
Because your husband might not always be there. He might be out farming on a tractor somewhere or plowing mules or gone to the market or something, and something happens, they dealt with it.
Well, that's what you have to do.
Have to do. Just like we're going to deal with this. This section's over. We have bored you long enough. There will be a commercial break coming up, and then we'll get back with the rest of today's show.
Ford F-Series has been the #1 selling truck for over 40 years. Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma has a huge selection and up to $10,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma on Highway 55, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Why buy anywhere else?
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Can you imagine a world without beauty, without color, without creativity, without art? Well, neither can we. Keep arts alive and experience all kinds of arts and crafts at the 2nd Annual Arts Alive Tullahoma on the newly renovated lawn of the South Jackson Civic Center, May 25th and 26th. For details, visit TullahomaArtsCouncil.com and come spend the day at our fun, family-friendly arts festival.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us in the set now Sandy Sebra. And Sandy's got a project that she's working on. And first of all, tell us what organization you affiliate with.
Okay, I represent the Shady Grove Garden Club.
Okay.
It's a small club, but we have a big project.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, well, I thought it was a memorial thing. It is a Veterans Memorial project, but it originally was started over 70 years ago by the Garden Club of New Jersey to honor veterans from World War II.
Okay.
And so it's nationwide. And in the state of Tennessee, there are over 73 of these memorials.
Okay.
And this is what they look like. This is
hold it up toward that camera right there.
This is the Gold Star Memorial, which came a little bit later than the Blue Star. The Blue Star is to pay tribute to all who have served in the armed forces of our country, in defense of our country. And this one was originally done in '47, and then the Gold Star came a little bit later, and it's to tribute to families who have paid the ultimate sacrifice of losing a loved one in defense of our country. And so this is what we are. We have paid for these, the Garden Club, with a generous help from the American Legion and the Tullahoma Historical Society. And they will be coming the first part of May, and we plan to have them installed and dedicated by the end of May. So we have a lot to do in a short time to do it. But I will say that we started working on this project 2 years ago, and it takes a while to get things done. And it was March the 25th when the mayor and the aldermen voted unanimously for this project to be sited at the History Park. And that's where the caboose is located.
Is there some significance to why you...
Right. And we really pressed on this because there were other suggestions of where it could be located. But I am a history buff, I guess. I've lived here now 30-something years, and I was amazed at the history that goes along with the troops being brought into Tullahoma 70 years ago, and all those thousands of young men and women that were brought in via the railroad and deposited in that area. And I just felt like it's a historical significance that is very unique to Tullahoma.
Do I recall the actual depot was somewhere around where the caboose is
that
now?
is true. And people that lived here and know about it, the enthusiasm has been amazing for those that realize, well, this is a good thing. And I have been encouraged by that because it really kind of was just, I'm the daughter of a veteran, I'm the wife of a veteran, and I really needed some encouragement to push with it, but I have received that from the citizenry of Tullahoma. So we, once we have the site dedicated in May, we will really be working to sell the pavers. They are to be a sidewalk of pavers that goes from the sidewalk in front of the caboose all the way up to the memorial. And these are the paver bricks that...
You want us to hold it up? No. Oh, okay. All right.
It is heavy. They're very solid, but you can honor and remember your veteran by ordering one of these, and it will then have their name. Whatever you desire to put on the brick will be engraved, and they will be installed, and this is to be done by November Veterans Day of 2019. So that'll be here before we know it, and I see Peggy looking up here, and we want all of our people to get this message and to take part in this sidewalk of Memorial Sidewalk. So that's what this is about.
Do I understand that these pavers will actually be installed before Veterans Day?
They will be installed by Veterans Day.
By Veterans Day, okay. Okay.
The deadline on these pavers is September the 1st.
I see.
And so we are expecting them, the forms. We have forms that you can pick up at City Hall, at Clayton's, Southern Electric, Sinorama, Fast Jacks, or 22 West. I'm going to have them all over town.
Right.
Don't be surprised that you can find them most anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also listed in the phone book, so you can come by or I'll bring you one. But we want to have about 1,500 pavers in this sidewalk. And it's going to be a project that I feel like Tullahoma is going to be very proud of.
I'm sure it will be.
And
yes.
I just appreciate being here today and talking about this. And just what we really need is the networking of people passing on the information. And also, we are open to donations to help us finish the project with labor and materials for our pad and our flagpole. Those are items that we still are.
Do I understand that you've already paid for the
pavers?
plaques?
Absolutely. They have been paid for. And like I said, the American Legion was very gracious, and the Tullahoma Historical Society. Once I got that impetus going, I thought, hey, we can do this.
By the way, if you happen to be a member of the American Legion, this is the Caboose Park that's right across in front, actually, of the American Legion post on Atlantic
absolutely.
Street.
Right. Very convenient location, and we plan to put a 25-foot flag pole and have it lighted. And so it's going to be made more friendly. It's a good place to come downtown and just observe and remember.
And so you and the Shady Grove Garden Club has been working on this for a couple of years now.
We have, but until it was approved, the 25th of March, which was only about 3 weeks ago, we really couldn't do anything but just talk about it.
Right.
And so now it's very important that we get moving on this project in order to have it completed by Memorial Day.
Okay. Well, you guys have just done a super job, and this is going to be a great addition to the downtown landscape in Tullahoma, and what a great way to honor our veterans from this area.
Yep, right.
And I think it's really cool that some of the people that probably their name will end up on these papers might have had departed or returned from that very area where that park is located.
One of our friends in our garden club, Susan Kennard, her father actually came to Tullahoma and went into Camp Forest to train and was then overseas.
Right.
So you just never know. I think it's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, and lots of luck. You guys have done such a super job already.
I really appreciate being here today.
Thank you so much. Folks, we'll be right back with more living right after this.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them, and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street, and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Monsignor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
You know, this past weekend there was all kinds of stuff going on around town, just like there always is. And one of the things was the Piping on the Green, which is an annual event by the Scottish Society that's held down at the Celtic Cup. The past 2 years, the weather has been horrible, and this year it was just absolutely beautiful down there. We went down and got a little video from that. And this is the annual Piping on the Green, held at the Celtic Cup by the Scottish Society. It's an annual event and always well attended. There'll be all kinds of music and Celtic dress and dancing, and look here, there's dancers, there'll be pipers, all kinds of things going on here. You can see it's a well-attended event. It's a cultural event. It's right here in Tullahoma, Tennessee. He played at the ring, the Bonnie and the boy. It must have been a king. Long may his lady look free the castle loom. As she sees the other boy come sounding through the tune. Jewelry and stained glass. You know, you can find everything at this facility today. There's t-shirts, there's smiling faces everywhere. It's just all kinds of fun. Look at and the dress and the different things that you can wear. Love the hat. Look at the leaf hat right there. Isn't that incredible? I love it, love it, love it. Beautiful woodwork. Look at that right there. Isn't that incredible? So shiny, it's hard to get a true shot of it. That's fantastic. And there's the pins. I love the pins. Great woodworkers right here. Look at the bowls and everything. How fantastic is all of this? Wonderful. Look at that. What a piece. What a piece. Look at that right there. Is that not incredible? And we have dog treats here, and we have baskets, and we have plaques, and swords, and axes, and just all kinds of wonderful things. And there's people sitting around creating stuff, and that's bomb. Here's the spinners and the weavers right here. They come every year. Hello, hello. Love to see them do their work. Look here. Here it's happening right here. Right in front of you. Isn't
something? Here's a booth where you can get cups and clan things that you lovely books. What a great event to have here in Tullahoma.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
Tullahoma Earth Day Festival. Let's start a chain reaction that creates action. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Join us for the second annual Earth Day Festival on Saturday, April 27th, starting at 1 p.m. at Fraser McEwen Park. Enjoy an evening of music, a night in Nashville with Lee Gibson and Company. This free event has over 30 earth-friendly vendors, kids' activities, food, beer, and more. Special thanks to our sponsors. That's Tullahoma's Earth Day Festival on Saturday, April 27th at 1 p.m.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
I am so happy to have this young lady on the set with me, Miss Buffy Davis, and she is from Tullahoma, and she's a superstar over at the MAC in Manchester, and opening this weekend, right?
Yes.
In Chicago. What a great show. I've seen this before at in Nashville. And how did you decide, what made you decide to audition for Chicago?
Well, it's always been I love the motion picture. I'm a huge Renee Zellweger fan, and so I fell in love with the movie first. And then after I found out that it was going to be a show pretty local, I got to watching what I could find on YouTube, and just realized that it's so much deeper, the live
Right.
musical of it, and so I couldn't pass up the opportunity. I had to at least give it a try. I wanted to be in the back dancing the Fosse style, if nothing more.
And you're, speaking of dancing, you're a choreographer who does a fabulous job. How many hours has she put in with you guys?
She is our choreographer director, and she is amazing. She not only runs her dance studio during the day, but she has been choreographing each and every one of our dances.
And her name is?
Her name is Danelle.
Danelle. And
yes.
she does I have trouble with her last name.
I do too. But she runs Duck River Dance in Manchester, and she is just phenomenal. I've never worked with a choreographer that is as creative or as true to a dance style as she is.
And she takes it right out of the meaning of what it should be in Chicago.
Oh, yes.
What's your favorite song?
Oh my gosh, there's so many different ones. I would have to say that Roxy is probably my favorite song because I kind of have a little bit of a personal out-of-body experience because one day I would like for the name on everybody's lips to be Buffy.
Right. And that's the name on everybody's lips is going to be Roxy. So I think it'll come true. I really do. Well, let's tell. There's the way you get tickets. You can get them through the website, or you can call and make a reservation. How much are tickets? Oh, it's all right if you don't know.
I didn't do my research before.
That's all right. That's okay. But let's certainly tell them the dates and what time. I know it's this coming weekend.
Yes. Friday and Saturday showtimes are 7:30, and Sunday showtime is 2 o'clock. Next week we have 2 showings on Saturday instead of a Sunday show because of Easter, and that day show is at 2 p.m. on Saturday.
So that's going to be a tough day.
Yes, that Saturday the 20th is going to be a very long day. It's going to be a great day though.
And you're not doing Friday?
We are doing
Friday. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Friday night, and then a matinee and an evening performance, and then a no Sunday performance because it's Easter Sunday.
Happy Easter.
And people need to go to bed early anyway, so come out at least during the matinee or that night and see. Anyway, I'm excited for you. I'm going to see it this weekend, and I can't wait.
I'm excited to see it too.
Really. I don't think I think tickets might be. Oh, let's show this film.
Yes.
Who are these people?
These are some of our mistresses.
I used to teach her voice.
Yes. This is Miss Annie. She is Amanda Wright, and she is a phenomenal actress, very talented.
I've seen her in a lot of shows.
Yes.
She does a fabulous job.
She's an MAC alumni. This is April Glosson Smith, and she is another one of our mistresses. I think she's directing coming up the MAC this fall, but she is a phenomenal dancer and singer, actress.
And who could that be but Buffy Davis? Cute. I love the way you do your hair. You look just like out of the period.
Thank you. I actually use my own hair in the show. The fun thing about this show is the costumes and the makeup, and there's a lot of wigs and a lot of fun makeup. This is Velma. She is my counterpart. She is the other star. She's played by Hope Petty.
Yeah.
Hope is also directing The Lion King, The Tag, and The Wag.
That'll be fun.
In Manchester right now. So she's a busy woman also. She is amazing. Here's another one of our mistresses. We have our Merry Murderesses, and they are amazing. They're going to put on a phenomenal show. Miss Jackie.
I love the way she's smiling, got that rifle in her hand,
yes,
ready to blow somebody's head off. Oh, that's familiar.
Jeanette. Yes, she is another one of our
King.
murderesses, and she is, of course, you have worked with her, Miss Peggy. She is an amazing singer.
She is.
She has really gotten into her own with this dancing. Of course, Lori, she does a lot of things at the MAC, a lot of the oldie shows too, I believe.
Yeah.
Very amazing singer and dancer there. She plays our Kathleen Honyak, and so she's got a pretty neat little
And
role
who's directing?
Danielle.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, ma'am.
The choreographer is directing the show because it is a choreographer's show.
Totally.
There's a lot of dance in the show.
She's not only a Fosse fan, but she has stayed very true to the Fosse style of dancing throughout this whole show.
And
so.
I think that's important for people to know because I guess he was the greatest, at least one of them.
He definitely was. And it's really neat because in school I'm learning musical theater. And we just stepped into the musical theater, and he's one of the greats that they're speaking of. And so it's really nice to be in a show.
He really is. What was it? All That Jazz?
Yes. He with Chicago, he choreographed and directed the original on Broadway. And so that was really neat.
Well, I've seen the movie and I have seen the play, and I personally like the play better. Mm-hmm. It's just something about it that makes me feel more at home, I guess.
Right. It definitely goes.
And y'all
into
have a live orchestra.
We're using tracks, but we also have a brass band involved in it. So there is some nice punchy live stuff.
Well, it's amazing how good tracks are these days.
They
really do a great job. Our time is up. It's just hard for me to believe it goes so fast, but I'm excited about Chicago, and you need to get excited about it. It's this weekend and the following weekend at the MAC Theater in Manchester. We'll be back with more. Thanks, Buffy.
Thank you.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford Expedition, up to $11,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41 and Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party. But things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
So I'm here at the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center with President Beth Names. And Beth, tell us all the great stuff going on at the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center.
Okay, well right now, today, it's April 6th. We're here for the opening for Joy Sneed. She's a local artist. She owns the Artist Nook here in town, and we're fortunate enough to get to have her work here today. So for the month of April, she'll be here. Come and see her exhibit Fridays and Saturdays at the Art Center. Other than that, we have a lot of events. This is our busy event season. The next thing we have coming is the Earth Day Festival in Fraser McEwen that the city puts on. Robin Dunn, the alderman here in town, has really taken the lead and spearheaded this awesome biannual, this is, well, not biannual, this is the second annual Earth Day. So the Art Center's going to be there. We're going to be doing some of our community rock garden projects and hopefully getting the community involved in some other art projects and just kind of boosting up membership for the Art Center. This is the time of year, our fiscal year ends in the summertime, the end of June. So this is the time of year we try to boost membership. Then other than that, we also have, we'll be having a fundraiser for St. Barnabas Church. We're working with them to do a fundraiser for children. We also have the Arts Alive Festival coming up in May. That'll be on the lawn in South Jackson. It's the 27th and 28th of May, so if you're looking for that, it's a really great event as well. This is the second annual time that we'll be doing that. Last year we kick-started it again, brought it back, so this is the second annual one of that. We're also gearing up for Bonnaroo. Tullahoma Art Center is going to be in Planet Roo again, which is the nonprofit sector, the sustainable area of Bonnaroo. We have been gifted 2 tickets and two general admission tickets and a car camping pass.
Wow.
So be watching our Facebook page for an auction for that. We're just going to set a minimum bid and a certain time that it will be open, and then once that time ends, we'll look at the timestamp and see who won the auction. So
wow,
it'll be less
great.
than market value for the opening bid, and hopefully we'll have a lot of people interested in that.
And it's going for such a great cause on top of that. It's going to help out this wonderful center that we have here in town. And look at that, you can get 2 tickets to go to Bonnaroo by helping out your local art. By helping out your local art center. So you can't get much better than that.
It's really exciting.
So much going on, but I know a big part also is that you want to get out there to the community and let them know about is the actual building itself and some of the work and upkeep that might be needed down the road.
Right, so the building is historic to Tullahoma. It's one of the oldest buildings here in Tullahoma. It was built in the late 1800s, so there's always constantly maintenance that needs to be done, but over the years there's just a few things that have been neglected that we are uncovering and discovering. So right now we're really trying to get the word out to the community that we need support, we need help with this. The city is hopefully going to be considering supporting us more financially, but even with that extra maintenance fund that we would receive from them, we're still going to need support from the city, and we're still going to need help from the community.
Yeah.
So what I would like to ask is just for everyone to stop by, see some of what we're talking about for yourself, and kind of understand that it would be fabulous to be able to preserve this house that's one of the oldest homes in Tullahoma.
Right, absolutely.
But then B, be able to fix it so that we can last for another 50 years. We just had our 50th anniversary in 2018, so I'm really looking toward the future here and want to see the Art Center be able to stand for another 50 years.
And I could not agree more. What a gem that we have here in our own town, in our community. And please, people, get down here. You can see a little bit of this artwork that's behind us that we have that's fantastic. And just feel good knowing what a great gem we have in our community.
And it's fun. Everybody's an artist. I'm a big advocate for everyone as an artist.
Right.
And it's easy to be hard on yourself and say, oh, I'm not creative, oh, I can't do that, but you can.
Yes.
You can.
And there's a community out there to support you, to say yes, you can.
We're here to cheer you on.
That's right. Well, Beth, thank you so much. And
Thanks for
folks,
having me.
get down here and check out these exhibits and do your part and help out the Tullahoma Art Center, because they do fantastic work here. Beth, thank you so much. And right now I am with Joy Sneed, who we are at her gallery at the moment of displaying her wonderful, wonderful work that she has. And Joy, thank you so much for talking with us. Your work is fantastic. It's great. So tell me, what is your main inspirato, if you will? What is it that fuels that fire that makes you want to get that creative outlet?
I guess it's just what I think. So I think, and if I didn't get it out, I'd probably explode.
Right. Yeah. It's got to get out somehow. Yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Now we're standing in front of one of your favorite pieces right here.
Yes.
What's the title of this piece that we have?
Well, my art show title is The Art of the Story, because I love literature and children's literature particularly, but this is supposed to be Little Red Riding Hood. But her cape isn't red. But if you look at her cape, it has red, it's like underneath.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put my twist on it, and it's kind of a tribute to children's literature, because I really love.
Well, we have the Grimm's fairy tales here.
But see, this is supposed to represent like a Caldecott medal.
Oh, I understand. Okay, that's fantastic. That is so great.
And I love purple. That's my favorite. My art is called Purple Chameleon.
That's what, yeah.
So a lot of it's got purple in it, and that's what our seal is when you look at her.
Yeah.
Seal, it's a chameleon, and we melt the wax and put the seal on it. So that's kind of
Well, I could certainly pick up on the purple feel as I was walking around checking out. But I love it. It pops really well, and it gets
it's my favorite. So
yeah, I can't go wrong, right?
Right.
Now you have a place here in town, correct? I believe it's called the Artist Nook. Is that?
No, it's called the Knowledge Nook.
The Knowledge Nook. Tell our viewers about that, if you don't mind.
Okay, it's on West Lincoln Street, and it's kind of has two sides to it. That's where I do my art. It's my art studio. But it's also where I help kids do homework or tutoring, reports, after school stuff. We have a girl that works with me, does all the math parts. A lot of the kids get math help.
Oh, yeah.
So we have that for them. And we can do any grade from kindergarten to 12th grade. And we also do we try to do a lot of different camps in the summer.
Yeah.
So the kids have something to do.
Yeah, keep them busy. Yeah. Keep that mouse on the wheel going.
Yeah, and so it's it'll change. If we have a Facebook page and we have a web page, and they can find what camp is coming up.
And that's what I was going to ask you. If you would let our viewers know, where can they find information about it?
Well, we're on Facebook page, and then the website is knowledgenook.org.
Okay, great. Well, I'm sure we'll have that down here so people will know where to get in touch. That is some fantastic work that you're doing for the community in the area, and that is really, really good. And like I said, keep the kids busy and keep that creative spark and knowledge going.
Yeah, I taught school. I'm a former school teacher.
Ah, so yeah.
I live in Winchester, and we had a school called Shepherd. And it was a Catholic school, and it closed down. And I taught there for 21 years.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, but the artist side of me is, this was always my dream.
Yeah.
So I decided to do my art, but also keep that part of the kids in, you know,
That's so
pull them
great.
into the art.
See, that's great. You can combine both of those things
Yeah.
and get so much positive out of it. That is
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
what I was hoping for, so.
Joy, that is fantastic. Well, again, everybody, please, this will be running all month here at the Tullahoma Fine Arts
All
Center.
month of April, yes.
So please get up here and check out Joy's fantastic work, and go check out the Knowledge Nook, knowledgenook.org.
That's our website, yes.
All right, please go check that out. And Joy, such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Wonderful work you do here. Please, folks, come on up and see this work. You're missing out if you don't.
Thank you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No Employee of the Month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch and John. We're here today for the 79th segment of Conversation with John and Pat.
Pat, occasionally when we do these, you know, we'll do a span of maybe 4, 5, 6 of them in a row. And on 78, there was a question who wrote the song that I sang last time. It was Woody Guthrie.
Okay.
And Woody Guthrie also wrote the one I'm going to do here. You got to walk that lonesome valley. You got to walk it by yourself. Nobody else can walk it for you. You got to walk it by yourself. Jesus walked that lonesome valley. He had to walk it by himself. Nobody else could walk it for him. He had to walk it by himself. You've got to walk that lonesome valley. You've got to walk it by yourself. Nobody else can walk it for you. You've got to walk it by yourself. You know, Woody Guthrie, just thinking back, I didn't even get one applaud then. Normally, we have somebody out there who will do.
I think management was spellbound by that, John.
It could be.
Yeah.
But Woody Guthrie, if anyone would study his lyrics, those are folk songs. He did "This Land Is Your Land," and then "Going Down That Road Feeling Bad." That's the one we did last segment.
Is it Bob Seger that we've mentioned before? He was a real big folk singer at the time. And
Woody Guthrie had a son, Arno Guthrie, who did songs similar to his dad. I'm not sure if he wrote them. I don't know much about Arno, but Woody Guthrie is something, really something.
Interesting. We've got an impossible segue for that today, John.
We'll just do it.
Yeah, we'll just jump right in. A couple of weeks ago, I went out and visited Coach W.C. Dub Cooper. I like to go by there every 2 or 3 months, and he and his wife Betty, not in great health, but their minds are really stout. And if you remember, Coach Cooper coached high school football in Tullahoma from 56 through 66, and then was a principal at West for many years, and Betty worked in the administration building. But I found, Philip, put up that 1948 UT. This was the program from the Tennessee-Alabama game in 1948. In October was played in Knoxville, and Kyle Bill's a good friend, able to get that program for me, and I took it over there because Coach Cooper played in that game, and he was General Neyland's player of the week and against Alabama. And as he looked through the roster, he could tell a story or identify just about every person in there and who he'd talked to. In fact, I don't think that was one, but in that whole roster wasn't but one other player still alive. But he mentioned one. He said, "There's one. I don't know if I've told you this before. That boy's from Tullahoma," and his name was Tom Brixey. And when I went home and looked him up a little bit, I found one really interesting story. And then next segment, number 80, will come back and I'll cover Mr. Brixey in a little bit more in depth. But I found out that the class of 1953, which would be that senior year of the football season, of course, had been 52. Coach McClure had come from, Creed McClure had come from McMinnville and was hired as the football coach. And he ended up in 55 having a great team that was undefeated that Frank Mullins was a big part of. But anyway, as he coming from McMinnville, they played McMinnville that year on a Friday night, and of course that was a big game to Mr. McClure. And but Chevyville and Sparta were going to play in Chevyville for some reason on Thursday night. And Mr. McClure got wind that some of the players had found that out, and he was afraid they were going to go over there and watch some of that game, and he wanted them in bed, well rested for the Friday night game, for their game. And he put down a stern warning there all where nobody was going to that ball game. Well, we had 3 colorful figures from Tullahoma's history. Eric Soulsby, who is still with us, and he played at Vanderbilt, I believe, in the 1955 Gator Bowl team. T. Motlow and Billy Joe Finney. They all snuck off, drove over to Chevyville on Thursday night, and supposedly wore, according to the report I got, they wore long coats and had big hats on and tried to cover up where nobody could find them and sat on the Sparta side. Well, Tom Brixey, Coach Cooper's friend and player, fellow teammate at UT, he was coaching for Sparta and recognized who they were, and he and Coach McClure, Mr. McClure, were really good friends, and so he called him that week and said, you had 3 players over here, or called him at night, Thursday night, you had 3 players over here at Sheffield tonight, and he said, oh. So, of course, he did a little investigating, and he suspended them and threw them off the team for that, at least for that game, and wouldn't let them sit on the bench. And they were behind by 6 points at halftime, and supposedly the crowd was egging the 3 players on, and they went to the fence and got in a discussion with Mr. Kluwer that was supposed to have been negotiations for what it would take to come back, and they agreed on 100 laps after following practice the next week. Well, that would have been 25 miles, and I'm having a hard time believing that those boys ran 25 miles after practice during that week. But anyway, he did let them come back. And
they weren't built for cross-country, were they?
No, they weren't cross-country, especially T wouldn't have been a cross-country runner. And so they ended up coming back and went to the gym from Old Wade Field, you know, was where you would have coached basketball. They went up there and got the equipment on, came back, and Tullahoma won 19-13, and it was ended up being a great story from a group that loved to tell stories, and T was T. Motlow was some kind of storyteller, and they had a reunion not long ago in 2013, I believe it was, and supposedly the biggest story was that there was a gentleman in that class, Robert Owens, who I think was related to the Owens family that owned Crescent Box. And he became a naval admiral. And when he first got into the service, he was a fighter pilot and supposedly flew over T's farm in Moore County upside down and said he grinned at him. He was so low that he grinned at him. And T claimed that that there was not a hen that laid eggs or a cow that gave any milk for 2 weeks after they were buzzed by Admiral Owens. And supposedly in the account I read, Admiral Owens admitted that he flew the plane over the farm, but the rest of the story, he said, was embellished. Johnny, have you got any questions or follow-ups on any of that?
Embellishing is something we might do from time to time, but we don't expect it from other folks. Might. Oh, by the way, just to end this up, you know, we've talked about the great migration from Chapel Hill to Tullahoma. Kathy Orr, she was a Hill, Joe Orr's wife, Kathy, a good girl from Chapel Hill, and then also the Hargroves, Margaret, and here I am, embarrassed, but Mr. Hargrove from over there, they go to Highland Baptist Church over there, and Arthur Hargrove. Thank you. And but good folks.
Well, John, we may have a little bit of time. Let me work one more Motlow story in there. T's brother, Doug, was another colorful figure that had, there's plenty of stories. And these, if they were embellished by Doug because he told me to my face these 2 stories. And we have to understand that football in the 40s was not as tightly regulated as far as age and so forth as it is now. And Doug told me that he played 4 high school games in a week. He played for Tullahoma, Lynchburg, Castle Heights, and another one. And I can't remember.
Morgan.
You may be right. But I asked him about how that was legally able to go, and he said, well, the Castle Heights played in a prep school league, military league, and so he used his real name playing for Tullahoma and playing for Castle Heights, but he used an alias for the other 2 games. And he said, now, well, he said, at the end of that 4th game, he said, a little sore. Which I can imagine after that 4th game, man, be a little bit sore. And we'll close with this last part as far as age is concerned. Doug finished high school at 21, and he said he can remember one of his favorite stories was that he went to the principal's office, and he and the principal and the director of schools, Mr. Lee, all went to vote for Roosevelt at the same time when the voting age was 21.
Great story.
Isn't that a good story?
Doug Botlow.
So we'll wrap up segment 79, and but that's not. We hope that's not the last segment because we've got a lot of stories. The Motlows are full of stories.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
y'all.
Talking history about the sand that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterware.
Yes, Roosterware is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterware specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterware.
come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com.
to find our handcrafted designs for
The Cock of the Walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back, and there's nothing I like better than horsing around, and there's nothing I like better than playing. So to have these fine ladies from Horse Play here today makes me a happy guy. And you are Miss Christian?
Loretta Christian.
Loretta Christian?
Candace Kraus.
And
Mary Beth Harden.
Mary Beth Harden. Mary Beth and I've known each other for a long time.
Let's don't believe.
Yes, we can. She helped my heart, and she helped me stay healthy with my heart for a long time. She sure did. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about the great thing that we have in our area, which is Horseplay. And explain what Horseplay is.
Horseplay is a nonprofit located here in Tullahoma, out on Highway 130 as you're going towards Estill, where the old Shahan Nursery used to be. And what we do is we offer therapeutical, recreational horseback riding for boys and girls who have disabilities, either handicapped, they're confined to wheelchairs, or they have trouble walking, and or other issues. And it's offered free. The parents don't have to pay anything. And we service 5 counties: Lincoln County, Franklin County, Moore County, and Grundy County, as well as Coffee. Last year we had 42 students. This year we have over 50.
My goodness. And this is, Mary Beth, how long has this been going on? It's been going on for quite some time.
I can't remember when it started, but I believe it's right at 25 years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's been a good while, and served a whole lot of people.
A whole lot of children.
A whole lot of people. And then you are a mother.
Yeah, my 2 kids are in it.
And what has that done for them and for you as well? Because as a parent, I know you look to find joy for your children, and you look to find things that make them feel good and stronger and more satisfied. What's Horseplay done for you and your children?
Well, this year's the first year for my son. He's severe ADHD, and he has a hard time focusing, and he goes into tantrums, and he is so happy when he's on those horses. He looks forward to it every Monday when he has to go. He's good at school because he wants to make sure he has a good day so he can go, you know. And my daughter, her cerebral palsy, she has a hard time using her left side, and she gets on those horses and they do all the exercises, and she uses it just fine. They say reach to your left, she reaches to her left. If they say stretch your legs, she stretches her legs. She doesn't think that I can't do it.
I mean, that's a phenomenal thing, ladies. And that's not just one occasion. That, you know, what I've seen and what I've heard, that happens with almost every young person or old person that shows up, because it's not just young. Aren't there some older people with problems that...
It's only for children, but we have had some children go from age 3 till they age out at 18 or 19.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. So, older, that's what I meant, sort of, not necessarily our age, but... But
there are programs for adults. We just don't.
Right, but it helps these young people feel confident, feel proud of themselves. And now your location where you are now, out at the old Shahan Nursery area, y'all been there, what, for 6-8 years, maybe?
We've owned it probably that long, and we built the arena probably 6 years ago.
Right.
With great help from United Way. They just have been tremendous. And then, of course, other donations. But United Way.
It takes a village to make this happen, as it does most things in a small community. And one of the things we're here to talk about today is fundraising.
Let's talk about it.
Talk about it. And usually fundraising involves eating, as far as Horseplay is concerned.
Horseplay. Our luncheon that we have once a year is our once annual major fundraiser.
Right.
That's really the only thing we do just for the public to raise money. Of course, we do grants and donations, but this is our big fundraiser.
And when does that take place?
May 10th this year.
So it's right around the corner.
At the Methodist Church back building.
Mm-hmm.
And Loretta has been working her little fingers to the bone.
I'm sure
lining
she
everything
has.
up.
I'm sure she has. Now, that is what's the price on that?
Tickets are $10, or if you've got 12 friends, you can get 12 tickets for $100.
Okay, and those can be packed to go?
To go.
Or you can come in to the
come and eat
fellowship
there
hall and gym and eat.
And meet your friends.
Yeah. And it's always full.
Always full.
Always full.
Always delicious.
Always, oh yeah, because this is not something that comes out of a freezer. This is fresh cooked, home cooked stuff, good stuff. So that's wonderful. If someone wanted to make a donation to Horseplay, or if someone wanted to become, anybody can become a member, can't they?
Well, it's not really a membership. We always need volunteers to work with us in sessions on Monday and Friday nights. If you're hesitant around horses, you can work with the children. Or if you like horses, you can help with the care of the horses, or with in the classes leading horses.
And if you just wanted to write a check, y'all would accept it, wouldn't you?
You know, we might think about doing that.
So, do you have, I know you said United Way, do you have any corporate sponsors that you'd like to mention?
Oh, we have so
For
many.
fear of leaving somebody out, maybe you don't want to do that.
We have, in the last few years, Katie Alderman is our instructor, and she has worked in several programs in Auburn when she was there, in Kentucky when she lived up there. She's an excellent recruiter, teacher, horsewoman. I can't say too much about her, but she has hesitate to say twisted a lot of arms, but she has come up with ways to
find money.
You can sponsor a horse for a year, $1,000. You can sponsor a horse. You get your name on their
That's what I want to hear.
You get your name on a sign. You can do a stall. We have new stalls for the horses, and you can do a stall sponsorship for $500 a year, and you get your name on the stall. I mean, I don't know how many people are interested in having their name out there, but there are so many ways that you can, and donations do not have to be that size. We're very grateful for the people who do that, who can afford to do that and want to do that, but $5, $10, $20.
Well, you know, I always talk about people that looking at the advertisements about the bleeding-eyed cats and dogs on television, and I say, look, you want to do something for a dog or a cat, buy a bag of dog food or a feeding bowl and take it out to your local dog shelter.
Yes. Or adopt a dog.
Or
and
adopt
give
a
it
dog.
A home.
And so if somebody wanted to buy a saddle or reins or
yes, we
or
always
some
have
food,
a wish list.
a wish list for some food or something that need, or just y'all use a bunch of hay, probably, don't you?
You have to, the thing about horses is it's 24/7. You've got to. They have medical problems. They have to eat every day. They have to be shod. Their feet need care. There's just
Something
they're
going
ongoing,
on all the time.
ongoing,
all the time.
And we're very grateful. We have vets who help us.
We appreciate what y'all do, and it's been 25 years it's been happening, and it's been good since day one. I mean, I was out there a long time ago and saw the smiles on the faces of some of these children, and it just hadn't done anything but get better.
Candies, too, are they're adorable children to begin with, but they are just amazing what they can do.
What they do.
This year, Katie has started a class, it's called a HIPAA class, and it's for more severely challenged children who can't really do as much as, say, Candy's children. But just the motion of the horse, it's therapy.
Yeah.
It's therapy because it warms them, the movement loosens their muscles, and this is new, and we're excited about it. But like Loretta said, we have 54 children. We do have 2 instructors now. So we
All right, so we're about out of time, and so we need to get people to remember May the 10th.
And we need all the volunteers to come out on Thursday, on the 9th, to help get
ready.
Food ready.
Yeah, okay.
And we also need people on Friday to help wash dishes, to help serve, help fill the plates.
Young people can do that.
Yeah.
Young people can do that. Anybody can do that. Horseplay. Don't play around. Don't horse around unless you're going to play around and horse around with horseplay. Go get you some good food and support a great program here in our community. We'll be right back.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department needs you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's it's Easter time.
I know, it comes
This
around
week
so
is Palm
fast.
Sunday, and bunny rabbits hiding eggs.
The bunny rabbits hiding eggs, and Good
all that.
Friday's coming up.
Good
and-
Friday's coming up, and you know,
that's Easter.
Easter's always been my favorite holiday. Huh?
Oh, is that
Oh,
this
Miss
weekend?
Tullahoma's up. Yeah, that's right. That's this Saturday as well. But I wrote a piece not too long ago, a couple of years ago, looking at the crucifixion from the eyes of the cross. And I thought, well, the Two Pieces of Wood's the name of that. And I thought, well, that's in the middle of the story. So I need to go back and start at the beginning and write all the way to the end, which is at the Ascension. And so I've got 5 pieces, and it's called an Easter Omnibus. And this is the first movement of the Easter Omnibus. It's called A Burrow and Boughs. Lord Jesus journeyed toward Jerusalem. The time of his sacrifice had finally come. He humbly marched to no fanfare or drum. The burden he bore left his body numb. So weary from travel, he could hardly go, so he sent to Bethpage for a young burro. Christ crawled on its back, then slowly went on, and the word of his coming spread like the dawn. When he reached the city, a crowd lined the streets, waving palm branches, throwing boughs at his feet. They searched for a Messiah to save them from Rome, but he was the path to their heavenly home. Triumphant he entered as the animal trod. Triumphant he ascended to the right hand of God. Of burrows and boughs I spin this tale, about a heavenly gift that followed a trail, set forth by the Father whose will would be done to secure our salvation through his only Son, who came to Jerusalem to make good God's vow, riding a burro on a carpet of boughs.
That's really touching. That's beautiful.
So that's the first piece of my Easter Omnibus, and we'll get more for you.
You have how many?
5 pieces that go in that. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So,
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
For sharing
Thank you.
that.
Yeah.
That
So
was really nice.
We're getting ready to listen to the South Jackson Band.
Oh, fabulous.
I think we're going to Brazil.
I believe so.
I think so. Let's go to Brazil. Folks, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.